Hello, fellow Korean visa applicants out there. So I'm back with another video, and for this video, I will share with you my experience in applying in the newly opened Korean Visa Application Center in Hotel Brittany. So as you may know, lahat na ng applications for Korean visa ay hindi na direct sa embassy doon sa may McKinley. Yung nakikita nyo sa may along C5, hindi na siya doon. So, lahat na direct na sa Korean Visa Application Center, KVAC. It's in Hotel Brittany. It's across SM Aura. Recent news lang tong KVAC na ito. So, lahat ng nakakuha ng appointment ng July 27, because as you may know, yung before opening of the KVAC, by appointment pa tayo. So, nagbubook pa tayo ng slots dun sa Korean MOFA website. And recently lang din, nag-announce sila na lahat na nga ng application starting August 14 to 25, which is their soft opening or pilot testing, lahat ay direct na sa KVAC. So, dun nga kami napabilang kasi ang aming application date or appointment date ay August 16. Nandun kami sa soft opening or pilot testing period nila. And very nice naman yung naging experience namin, which I will talk about later on. Going back to the timeline, yung August 14 to 25, yun ay kanilang pilot testing period. So, lahat lang ng nakabook ng July 27, ng date na August 14 to 25 sa KVAC na magsasubmit. Pero, starting August 29, they already accept walk-ins, pero meron ng 900 peso fee. So, yung mga nakabook sa August 14 to 25, since pilot testing pa lang or soft opening pa lang ng KVAC, wala pa kaming binayaran. So, if medyo nalilito kayo sa timeline, meron akong guy na fina-follow sa TikTok. I'll link it down below para meron kayo, mabigyan kayo ng summary of the dates of when the application started to be submitted in the KVAC and when the walk-ins are allowed to submit applications on KVAC. So, I'll link it down below. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Now, let's talk about the requirements. So, disclaimer, I am not a travel agent, nor am I affiliated with any other travel agency. I'm just sharing my experience as someone who usually applies for this type of visa. So, number one, I want to talk about with you the requirements. So, this is coming from a point of view of an employed individual. Pero later on, I will share with you yung mga sponsored applicants because my sister and my dad are being sponsored. So, pwede ko rin i-talk about sa inyo yung experience namin for submitting an application with a sponsored applicant. So, here are the documents that I submitted as an employed individual. So, number one is the application form. Number two, one passport size photo. Number 3 is your original passport. Number 4 is your passport bio page. So, kailangan mo i-print yung passport bio page mo. Number 5 is my old passport. Why? Kasi lahat ng stamps ko on the OECD countries that I've been to, and meron din akong existing and old visas on my old passport. Kailangan kong i-present yun because I am requesting for a multiple entry. And the stamps and the existing visa will help me support my claim for my intent to request for a multiple entry visa. Yung old passport ko and my current passport, binundle na lang siya ng staff na nag-handle sa akin for presentation sa Korean Embassy. So, if you are someone na traveling a lot and meron kayong mga expired or existing visa on your old passport, huwag nyo kakalimutan na sabihin sa staff na mag-handle sa inyo na you still have those visas on your old passport para i-bundle niya yon. Number 6 is the Certificate of Employment, original Certificate of Employment. Reminder guys, medyo specific sila staff sa details ng Certificate of Employment nyo. Dapat merong date hired, your position, your gross compensation, and your HR landline number or email address. So, ang nangyari, wala akong landline number ng HR ko. So, si staff, pinalagyan niya na lang yung COE ko ng landline number handwritten. Number 7 is original personal bank certificate. So, ito rin guys, medyo specific yung mga staff sa details. Meron silang specific details na tinitingnan, meron silang standard. So, kailangan yung bank certificate nyo merong ADB or average daily balance na nakastate doon sa face niya. So, yung nangyari sa akin, meron akong BDO na may ADB and meron din akong CIMB na wala namang ADB. If you guys have CIMB account, ma-generate mo yung bank cert and bank statement mo sa mobile app nila. So, yung bank certificate na available sa mobile app nila, walang ADB. And then, I tried calling them kung makaka-provide ba sila ng bank certificate with ADB. Then, they told me na whatever it is available in the mobile app is already their bank certificate. And any further requisition on the bank certificate on top of the one that you can get sa mobile app nila requires further approval from their higher ups, which will take so long. So, wala akong ADB, as I've mentioned. So, si staff, hiningan ako ng letter of explanation kung bakit walang ADB yung CIMB ko. So, yun lang. Sa letter of explanation, sinabi ko lang na yun nga kung ano lang yung na-generate sa CIMB, yun lang yung mabibigay ni CIMB. And I also explained na I tried calling them and then kailangan pa ng approval on their higher ups, which will take some time para mabigyan nila ako ng bank certificate with ADB. Tinanggap naman ni staff. So, be guided on that. Pag walang ADB, automatic, kailangan nyo ng my letter of explanation. Number 8 is original or certified true copy bank statement. So, 3 months ang hinihingi nila. Nag-provide ako ng 3 months. So, hindi ko lang alam kung different yung pag-handle ng staff. Pero yung, ako kasi, di ba meron akong different appointment confirmation. So, nabigay ako sa ibang staff. So, tinanggap ni staff yung downloaded transactions, my transactions ng BDO. So, hindi siya certified true copy or original. Ano lang siya, photocopy, like printed copy. Inaccept naman siya ng staff, pero yung staff na nag-assist doon sa sister ko, kasi, di ba, sponsor ko siya, medyo nag-alangan pa siya kung tatanggapin niya ba yung photocopy or yung printed copy ng bank statement ko. Pero thankfully naman and grateful na tinanggap niya kasi hindi ako nakapagpa-certified true copy. Yun kasi yung nakasulat sa Korean website, standard talaga na original or certified true copy. Depende na lang siguro sa staff kung accept nila or hindi. Pero yung sa akin, in-accept naman. So, ililink ko na lang yung required full list ng documents na kailangan for employed individuals when applying for Korean visa. Number 9 is a photocopy of your ITR. So, employed individual ako. Nagpasa lang ako ng form 2316. Wala namang naging problema doon. Number 10, last but not the least, is my cover letter. So, dun sa cover letter ko, dun ko nilagay, dun ko in-state my intent for applying for a multiple entry visa, my itinerary along with my family, and my intent to sponsor my sister in her travel to Korea. So, yun lang. Kung kayo guys, meron kayong mga documents na lacking or meron kayong hindi mapapasa, pwede nyo siyang ilagay dun sa cover letter nyo and explain nyo na lang sa staff na pag hiningan kayo ng letter of explanation, oh, ayan, in-explain ko na siya dun sa cover letter ko. So, ina-accept naman nila yon. So, ako, nag-request ako ng multiple entry. So, in-state ko yung intent ko to apply for a multiple entry Korean visa doon sa cover letter ko as well as our itinerary and my intent also to sponsor my sister. And that's it, guys. These are basically the list of or the papers that I submitted as an employed individual last August 16, 2023 in the KVAC, and it only took me around less than 25 minutes to get processed in the newly opened KVAC kasi nga nahiwalay ako ng appointment with my family. So, nandun kami ng 9:11 but as early as 9 a.m. nagpapapasok na sila. 9:30 ang first appointment. 9:11 nakapasok ako. I was attended to sa 10th floor around 9:16 and by 9:26 I'm already out of the KVAC. Pero hinintay ko nga yung sa parents and sa sister ko which almost took 4 hours kasi ito na ang kanilang kwento. So, backtrack tayo. Nung July 27, nag-open ng slots si Korean Embassy for August 2023. So, nung July 27, nakakuha ako ng slot and then another slot for my dad, my mom, and my sister. So, ang nangyari, dalawang application ang nakuha namin. So, one for me and then one for my parents and my sister. So, nahiwalay ang parents and ang sister ko sa application ko. 9:30 pareho ang nakuha naming time slot and on the same day, August 16. Ideally, dapat, as a family, isang application lang tayo or dapat kayo. So, if you're someone na magta-travel with family, Huwag kayong gagaya sa amin. Wala sanang mahiwalay sa inyo. Kasi yung akin nauna na-encode na, pero hindi pa tapos yung sa parents and sa sister ko. Although may staff na nagtanungan na dapat itong family na to, my parents and my sister's application, isama dyan. Pero sinabi kasi na magkaibang appointment, so dapat hiwalay. Pero yun nga yung naging kukulang or mali at the end rin ng discussion namin. Nandun na yung mga Korean managers. Dapat pala, regardless kung magkaiba yung appointment confirmation nyo, kung traveling together kayo, dapat pagsamahin sa isang application. So, sabihin nyo agad sa staff ng KVAC na traveling kayo together if meron mang mapahiwalay sa inyo ng appointment. Pagsasamahin nila dapat yon. Now, yung nagpa-process ng yung papers ng parents and ng sister ko is my mom. So, pwedeng representative na lang if you are traveling together. So, yung papers ng parents and sister ko, mom ko ang nagdala sa counter 19. So, scanning ng documents. Number 1 kulang, bank statement. Walang bank statement ang mom ko, ang sister ko. Kasi it's my fault. Akala ko kasi para siyang Japan visa na kapag may ADB na ang iyong bank certificate, hindi na kailangan ng bank statement. So that's my fault. Kailangan ng bank statement, guys. Nasa Korean website yan, standard yan. Kailangan ng 3 months bank statement. So dun pa lang, nagkagulo-gulo na kami. Kailangan ng bank statement ng sister ko and bank statement ng mom ko. Pangalawang kulang, bank certificate ng sister ko. So, the fact, guys, na iti-tick off nyo sa application form nyo na employed kayo, dapat meron kayong bank certificate and bank statement na ma-represent regardless kung sponsored ka or hindi. So, my sister is sponsored. Kahit na sponsored siya, hiningan pa rin siya ng bank certificate and bank statement kahit sponsored ko siya. The fact na tinake off niya, na employed siya, dapat meron siyang mag-present na bank certificate and bank statement. Be guided on that. Clear ko talaga yun sa staff kasi with Japan visa, kapag sponsored ka, papers lang ng sponsor mo yung ibibigay mo. So, bank statement lang ni sponsor, bank certificate lang ni sponsor. So, akala ko ganun din sa Korean visa. Huwag kayong gagaya sa akin. Again, this will serve as a reminder to you guys na magpupunta or mag-a-apply pa lang sa Korean Visa Application Center. So, even if sponsored, kailangan ng bank certificate and bank statement as long as na-tick off na employed ang ini-sponsoran niyo. Pangatlong pagkakamali. So, yung sa sister ko, again, yung certificate of employment niya, walang gross compensation. So, kailangan pa namin siyang kontakin kasi nasa bahay siya just to generate certificate of employment na merong gross compensation. So, doon kami sa mga pagkakamali yung tinagal hanggang 4 hours doon sa KVAC kasi gumawa pa ako ng letter of explanation ko. And then, nag-download pa ako ng mga bank statement ko for my sister kasi sponsor ko siya. And then, yung sister ko pumunta pa sa bank para humingi ng bank certificate niya. And then, kailangan pang kunin ng mom ko sa Pasig back home yung bank certificate ng sister ko and then go back to KVAC para ma-present yon. Very grateful naman and very thankful doon sa staff ng Counter 19 if you're watching this. Very thankful for your patience. Kasi in-assist niya talaga kami guys from 9 a.m. up until 1:30 or 1 p.m. na nandun pa rin kami sa KVAC. Pinayagan niya kaming bumalik-balik sa kanya just to process the application in 1 day. So, very grateful for you. Thank you. Now, at around 12:33 p.m., so, nakuha na ng mom ko yung bank certificate ng sister ko from bahay and then nakabalik na siya dito sa Hotel Brittany sa KVAC. Umakyat na ulit na kami sa 10th floor. Dito na ulit nagkagulo-gulo yung mga managers ng mga OPA, mga Koreano doon. Kasi nga, yung application ko, na-encode na. And yung application ng parents ko and sister ko, since traveling together kami, hindi pa na-process. So, tinitingnan nila kung paano nila matatanggal sa encoding yung aking papers and isama doon sa processing ng parents and sisters application ko. So, doon, medyo natagal lang mag-isip yung Korean manager kung paano. Hindi ko naintindihan kung paano yung process nila. Pero, at the end, pinull out yung aking application and then sinama doon sa kanila. So, ganun yung nangyari sa amin. Medyo nagulo yung process nila because nga nahiwala yung sa akin. So, be reminded on that lang. Unang-una pa lang, unang tapak nyo sa 10th floor, sabihin nyo, traveling together po kami, regardless kung magkaiba kayo ng appointment confirmation. Around 1 p.m. or before 1 p.m., nakalabas na kami sa Korean Visa Application Center sa KVAC. All the OPAs, the Korean managers there are like, thank you for your patience, when in fact kami nga yung nagtithank sa kanila because of their patience on us sa mga kulang-kulang namin na documents. So guys, for sponsored applicants, same pa rin yung numbers 1 to 10 na requirements that I discussed as an employed individual earlier. If si sponsored applicant ay employed. So, number 1 is yung application form pa rin. Number 2 is passport size photo. Number 3 is your original passport. Number 4 is your bio page. Number 5 is your old passport. If meron kayong mga existing or expired visa sa old passport nyo, ipabundle nyo siya sa staff. Number 6 is yung certificate of employment. Number 7 is yung bank certificate. Number 8 is bank statement. And number 9 is ITR, and number 10 is cover letter. Meron lang mga additional required documents na kailangan i-present si sponsored applicant if she is going to be sponsored. Siyempre, yung proof of financial capacity ng kanyang sponsor. So, in my case, sponsor ko yung sister ko. So, yung sister ko, sa application niya, kailangan niyang i-show ang aking proof of financial capacity, such as yung certificate of employment ko, bank certificates ko, bank statements ko, ITR, and importante to, letter of guarantee. So, if you guys want to have a sample letter of guarantee, I will link down some samples below. Now, kung si sponsored applicant naman ay unemployed, ang kailangan niya lang i-present is itong mga list na to. Application form, passport size photo, original passport, passport bio page, and then old passport kung naka-travel man, stamps para makita yung stamps, and then other expired or existing visa on his or her old passport. Siyempre, unemployed siya, hindi siya makakapag-present ng any COE, any bank cert or bank statement. So, explain na lang yon sa cover letter and letter of guarantee ni guarantor. So, in my dad's case, unemployed siya, and then my mom is sponsoring him. So, si mom, gumawa na lang ng letter of guarantee and cover letter that my dad is being sponsored by my mom. For those applicants naman who are personally being invited in Korea, kailangan nyong mag-present ng letter of invitation written in Korean language, guys. Also, kailangan din ng photocopy of the inviter's passport or identification card. If the applicant naman is being invited by a company in Korea, kailangan nyo lang din mag-present ng letter of invitation and a photocopy of Korean business permit nung company na nag-invite sa applicant. So that's it, guys. Yun yung mga na-experience namin and mga documents na pinasa namin as an employed individual and someone with a sponsored applicant in the family as a family traveling together. So, sana nakahelp yun sa inyo and be guided accordingly on the specific small details that the staff are looking for in your documents. Now, I will discuss with you the process from the moment that we step foot in Korean Visa Application Center to the moment that we left the KVAC. Step 1, when you get sa KVAC, meron dong long table sa 9th floor. And then, merong staff na magko-confirm ng inyong appointment confirmation. This is for those na merong application appointment pa between the dates of August 14 to 25. Kasi August 29, pwede nang mag-walk-in. So, I don't know if August 29 onwards, meron pa bang table doon na magko-confirm ng appointment or something. Pero, nung kami sa pilot testing period nila, merong long table sa 9th floor confirming that you actually have an appointment on that day. And then, after that, after ma-confirm nila yung appointment, papapuntahin kayo sa parang reception area nila. So, pipila kayo doon. And then, i-scan lang, like, simple scan lang ng required documents. And then, after that, bibigyan ka nila ng queue number. And then, once you are given queue number, papapasukan kayo doon sa right side nyo. And then, makikita nyo doon yung magandang waiting area nila and super comfy kasi ang daming seats. And then, meron silang mga TVs doon na nagpa-flash yung kung anong queue number na yung tinatawag. Once tinawag na yung queue number, meron namang staff na mag-a-assist sa inyo to go up to 10th floor kasi yung scanning ng final documents nasa 10th floor. In less than 10 minutes that we were in the waiting area, tinawag na yung queue number namin and then pinapila na kami ni staff dun sa may door papuntang 10th floor and then we went up sa 10th floor and meron lang konting glitch sa system nila so we had to wait in the waiting room again for less than 5 minutes and then meron na dong Korean manager na nag-a-assist na nagtatawag ng number kung saang counter ka pupunta. So, napunta ako sa counter 10 and then, as I've mentioned earlier, 9:11, I was already there sa KVAC. 9:16, I was attended to sa 10th floor and 9:26, I'm already processed and out of the KVAC. Now, same process would have gone with my parents and my sister if only their documents are complete and wala kaming naging problema sa documents namin, or wala kaming naging aberya sa pagsama-sama ng application namin. Pero yun nga, nagka-aberya, so it took us 4 hours kasi nga bumalik pa sa bahay and then bumalik pa sa KVAC, and then nagka-aberya pa dun sa pag-encoding and decoding nung application ko para lang isama dun sa application ng parents and sister ko. But all in all, it should take just less than 25 minutes. Kasi yung sa akin, less than 25 minutes, I'm already out of KVAC. Now, after pala ma-process ni staff yung iyong documents and makuha na sa'yo yung passport mo, bibigyan ka nila ng slip. Yun yung i-show mo sa kanila once you collect your passport. Please do not lose it, guys. Do not in any way lose it. Why? Kasi kailangan mo ng police report and kailangan mo ng special power of attorney para lang makuha ang iyong passport if ever man nawala mo or hindi mo man mapicturan yung slip na yon. Very important yung slip na yun. Please don't ever lose it kasi hindi mo talaga siya makukuha. Hindi mo talaga makukuha yung passport mo ng ganun-ganun lang kapag nawala mo yung slip na yon. So, kailangan mo ng special power of attorney and police report. So, huwag niyong iwawala yun. And that's it, guys. So, lahat ng important details about the newly opened Korean Visa Application Center, ilalagay ko dito. Address, the parking, and other parking spot where you can park. Kasi as an applicant myself, nag-worry din ako kung meron bang parking. And then yung telephone number nila. And if you guys have other questions that I have not answered in this video, please feel free to comment down below and I'll try to answer it as much as possible. Now, the fees. So, wala kaming binayaran, pero nakalagay doon sa slip namin na 900 pesos ang application fee starting August 2023. So, kami, wala kaming binayaran kasi nga, pilot testing period nila or soft opening. So, lahat muna nang naka-book ng appointment last July 27 for the month of August. And then, nasa testing period nila or pilot testing period nila, walang babayaran. So, very swerte. Kasi, syempre, 900 pesos din yun. Pero, guys, worth it na yung 900 pesos. Why? Kasi, number one, meron na silang 2 PC doon. So, if kulang man kayo ng documents na kailangan i-type, pwede nyo nang gamitin yung PC doon sa baba. Number 2, meron silang printing. Meron silang printing, guys, 10 pesos per page. Medyo mahal na compared sa iba dyan. Pero kung pupunta pa kayong mall, mas convenient na, meron silang printing doon. Kasi type lang kayo ng documents nyo, send nyo sa email ng staff, and then ipiprint na nila 10 pesos per page. I also heard na merong scanning and photocopying sa 10th floor. So, lahat na nandun na, guys. The PC usage is free of charge. And, ang babayaran nyo lang talaga yung mismong printing, photocopying, and scanning. Sobrang convenient na for 900 pesos. And, ang smooth lang ng process. Less than 25 minutes. Hindi mo na kailangan pumila like sa labas ng Along C5 like before. Hindi na kailangan ng ganon. Very comfortable ka na while waiting. So, that's it, guys. I hope this video will be helpful on your future application. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. And share to your friends. See you guys in my next Passport Diaries entry. Bye!